Social media, a web-based form of communication, is a vast world, probably even more than the Earth itself. And in every world, somehow, there will always be people who tend to be destructive towards other people, or sometimes even themselves. However, that's what we're trying to help. We shouldn't tolerate people who cause harm to other individuals. And saying it's just the way it is not a valid excuse. People with social media wouldn't be scared of being attacked if there weren't any attackers in the first place. And to reach that vision, we should educate everyone on the proper use of the platform. We are the social MedHians, uncovering truths within truths and providing tips within must-dos, making social media a safer place for all ages. David Amerland stated, social media is addictive precisely because it gives us something in which the real world lacks. It gives us immediacy, direction, and a value as an individual.
Social media is packed with so many benefits that our fingers would not be able to count. It can allow to easily stay connected through messaging, video chats, or photographs. It can also provide platforms for different forms of expression, whether through speech or arts. It can also provide many doors to different opportunities. It can also provide entertainment and news updates. It can give one the opportunity to share their achievements and their happy moments with the world. It is also useful in the field of education and business. It can also help someone develop or discover a community or support network. And it can provide opportunities to meet people from all areas of the world without even leaving the comfort of one's own home. But of course, there is also the inevitable consequences or disadvantages or risk of using social media. And these are, it can result in lower interaction with the real world, like with our families, relatives, friends, schoolmates, and co-workers. It can also expose vulnerable people to inappropriate content like violence and pornography. And it can bring opportunity for inappropriate behavior such as bullying and slander. It can cause lack of sleep or interrupted sleep and can lead to a sedentary lifestyle. It causes many mental illnesses such as depression and anxiety, and it can be used by other people to post fake news.
To be able to garner the benefits of social media and distance ourselves from its risk, here are the proper ways to use social media responsibly. Number 1. Protect what's private. Update the privacy settings on your accounts from time to time so to protect your personal information. Don't automatically save passwords on shared computers or devices, and more importantly, don't share your passwords with your friends. Look, privacy exists for a reason, so take it seriously. Laying all your private information out on social media could make you prone to harmful incidents. Being too trusting can have its own consequences. Number 2. If you see inappropriate social media behavior, clearly ask for it to stop and keep a record of your request. If the behavior doesn't stop, do not engage further. Be wary of strangers. You've got to admit, your parents or guardians have told you not to talk to strangers at least once in your life. They say that for a good reason. Even if a stranger you just met on the internet has no bad intentions, you'll have to take the time to assess whether or not you can let them in your company. You need to consider your own comfort and safety too. All things take time, yes? Patience is a virtue. Things you can do in these instances are reporting concerning online behavior, block unwanted messages and posts, delete or block the person who is behaving this way, keep evidence of the behavior, save texts or emails, and or take screenshots of social media sites. Get help and support. Number 3. Think before you click. Be aware of the content you're consuming. Most youth and young adults are quick to depend their socially networked lives, claiming that social media helps them feel more connected to their friends and provides critical support during difficult times. These benefits are why it's so important to educate new social media users about healthy habits. Never post criminal activities. The most important tip for teens when using social media is not to post anything that is evidence of unlawful activity. Teens may not have an appreciation that posting some types of content can be unlawful. Posts that are defamatory, incite violence, or include hate speech are just some examples of posts that can land a young person in trouble. Research apps before you trust them. The ultimate research tool is right there in your hands in the form of a web browser. That means you can check if a news report is factually correct before you share it and find out if a new app is actually out to scam you and determine whether the fun new photo game is actually harvesting your personal details. It only takes seconds to check these things out. So don't just use social media blindly. It doesn't take much extra time and effort to stay much safer online.
4. You're in total control of your feed. Recognize what's unhealthy and hit that unfollow button. Remember, you're in charge of your own content. You can use social media to uplift your life, connect with friends, create content, and entertain. It's healthy to manage your feed and unfollow or delete accounts that are consistently false news, negative, mean, rude, or also kind of bullying. If you notice you feel anxious or irritated after spending time on a certain app or account, that's your body's honest signal that you should spend less time there. And use social media mindfully. According to research from UBC Okanatan, passively scrolling through posts may not result in feelings of happiness. So take your focus off the negative news and place it on the things that actually make you feel good so that you can invite more good stuff and good feelings into your own reality. 5. With great power comes also with great responsibility. If students are old enough to have their own social media account, then they are old enough to understand the risks and responsibilities that come with this. Behind every screen is a person. Let's get one thing straight. If you don't want to be treated horribly on the internet, don't do the same thing to other people. The second you're supposed to send something through social media, it will be always there regardless of moving what you send. So, always be nice. That's the number one rule. Words can either be powerful, inspiratory, or lethal weapons that hit worse than physical ones. You can never tell how intensely it could affect a person. And also, know what's right and what's wrong. Get your morals straight. You need to know when something's inappropriate to get out of the situation right away or help someone do it. Lots of people get into toxic relationships with their friends, but the problem is they can't get out of it. It can be because their connections hold sentimental value, making it hard for them to cut the toxic person off, especially if they've been grown independent on them. But you need to remember that your own state is far more important than the person causing you distress in the first place. And here are some good reminders about using social media. 1. Develop and tend to your real-life relationships and experiences. 2. Be yourself and be nice. 3. Set limits and take breaks. For example, have time management in using social media, which means if it's time for academics or for work, then avoid using social media networks. 4. Take an honest self-assessment of your use. You can take a self-assessment by asking yourself over and over and again the question, how much are you using social media and why, and make a short reflection about it. 5. Learn about privacy settings and review them often. 6. Utilize social reporting policies and sites. 7. Always think before you get and before you post. And lastly, if you're a parent or guardian, monitor and set limits for your children's social media use.
In conclusion, these are only some things you need to know and practice when going through social media. We're all trying to stay safe and help people who try and cause harm to others. Young people have the ability to be in contact with friends all the time, thus leaving them with a sense of no privacy and too connected with peers. This includes you. So be sure to see the whole picture before you act. We are the social MedHians, leaving you with the reminder that you have a grasp over your reality. It is your choice to stay within the walls of social media or within and over the mountains of the real world.